I got link and some 40 in my right car. Bitches change and act like I ain't all this. Get that money, nigga, that my man.
Alright, Alright, what's going on, guys? So this is my first reaction on the channel. Tell me if you guys like the quality and the background thing like that. If you're new to the channel, make sure you drop a subscribe, turn on post notifications, and tell me your opinions in the comment section below. So I watched basically every single one of their video. Like he should have his own TV show. Like he should definitely be on Netflix. I don't know why it's not showing up. Like I watch every video, but this is the channel right here. Go subscribe to them. They make the best content. It's worth the wait. Trust me, this channel, their content is worth the wait. So gonna watch this video right here, 30 minutes. I might make part 1, part 2. So if you guys show this video a lot of love, I'm gonna do part 2. I'm gonna drop it. So let's get into the reaction.
This episode of Catching Gold Diggers is sponsored by Nox. Is your Android device becoming freezing, lagging, or slow? Then head to the Play Store and download Nox.
Head to the Play Store.
Today we're helping Tommy play someone to the Gold Digger test, and I swear on all the talkies in the world, the title of this video is not clickbait.
Damn!
Being a gold digger is not a crime, it's a completely subjective term. Therefore, to avoid any defamation of character, an emoji is placed on the tweets. I'm really not trying to get sued, guys. What is up, you guys, and welcome back to another episde of Catching Gold Diggers. If you guys are new here, my name is Sergio. It's so nice to meet you guys. Apparently, I do talk fast, so please try to keep up. Don't get left behind. Anyways, today I'm chilling here with the homie
I bet you Sergio and that other girl is dating. For sure.
We're blazing his ex-coworker slash friend to the test.
Oh.
It's a crazy story, guys. Are you ready for this?
Why you gotta change yours now?
I want my money back.
Son is a little Uzi Vert.
Meet the homie Tommy. Today we're gonna be placing his ex-friend George to the gold digger test. Tommy and George met because they used to work together, but after a couple of months, Tommy found a better job and ended up leaving. But about a month after Tommy left the job, he received messages from George saying that he got fired, had no money, and was now homeless. And to make a very long story short, Tommy, out of the kindness of his heart, wanted to help his old co-worker get back on his feet. He began by offering him a place to stay. However, surprisingly, George said no to the offer because he didn't want to be a hassle and instead only asked Tommy for $500.
What?
And so without hesitation, Tommy ended up giving George $250 up front and then the other $250 throughout the month for what he thought was going to be for George's new clothes, phone bill, meals, and more. Tommy never expected the money back and just wanted to see George
the money man.
But unfortunately, just 4 months later, Tommy received another message from George saying that he needed more money. This time, apparently, George was behind on 2 months worth of rent and also on a bunch of bills. It was becoming a little bit too much for Tommy, and he was a little hesitant about giving George money, so instead he decided to loan him $400. And then he went the extra mile and even created a GoFundMe for George and shared it online. And this is where things get dark. Someone, more specifically a girl, told Tommy to stop helping George. According to this girl, George is just a con man, and he's not homeless, not behind on bills, and not in need of any financial help. Supposedly, he just pretends to be homeless in order to get extra money out of people. And she knows this because a long time ago, she used to work with him and tried to help him also. So if this girl is being 100% honest and not just an internet troll, I'm sure Tommy would want all of his money back. At the moment, Tommy doesn't know the full truth, but that's exactly what we're hoping to find out with him today.
I really hope that he didn't blame me.
Basically.
So we put him to this test. We find out that he's a gold digger, essentially, that he used you for your money and stuff. What do you do? What do you want to get out of this? He's trying to
I'm getting my money back, and then B, we're gonna have to teach this girl a lesson for playing me. Like that's not going by. That's not gonna slide.
This story is wild and things might just get heated. But our 24-hour timer to test George has now officially begun. Alright guys, before we start getting busy, big ol' thank you to our sponsor, Nox Cleaner. Nox Cleaner is a free app in the Google Play Store that will help clean and boost the performance of your Android device. And yes guys, I know I'm missing half my glasses, but that's not the point. We're giving a shout out. Okay, so if you guys have an Android device, head to the Google Play Store and type in Nox Cleaner. Hit install, and as it starts installing, check out the ratings on the app. It has over 1 million downloads and a 4.9 out of 5 stars. That is hella good. And I mean, with over 100,000 positive reviews, the app pretty much speaks for itself. I think this thing actually has more likes than our episodes. Anyways, once you've downloaded it, you're gonna click on it, and you're gonna come to this screen right over here. And this is where the magic happens, guys. Notice how simple this is gonna be. All you gotta do is press scan, and the app will start scanning your entire device. Like this on my tablet, Nox Cleaner recommends to clean almost a whole gigabyte. What jam? It all cleans itself. But the app also has 2 more features, the first one being Deep Clean, which allows you to scan individual apps and clean those individually, and the second one being Photo Management, which scans all of your photos and separates them into categories for you to much more easily manage them and do things such as delete the duplicates, blurry ones, or oversized images. So again, guys, this app will make your device faster. It is 100% cost-free and ad-free.
Get to it.
Time to get back to work now.
So for this episode, we're not using a very nice car or a mansion like we have in the past. No, we're just going to be hiring Justin Bieber. Just kidding, guys, we don't have the budget for Justin Bieber. This is Fonty, but he's playing a rich decoy for today.
What do you guys think about this guy's situation?
I mean, personally, if this was me, I think I would really be focused on, like, he hasn't paid you back. So, like, honestly, like, this is, like, I would be ready. I would be honestly ready to go and, like, nail this, bro. Like, honestly, I would be, like, yeah, I'd be furious as fuck.
Okay, what is this, Miss America? Look at this answer.
You'll have to excuse my friend. He's a little slow.
Anyways, guys, the steps for this test have actually already been set into motion a couple of days prior. It all started when this guy made a phone call to George with the number that Tommy provided us with.
Hello?
Yo, what's up, man? Is this George?
Yeah, who's this?
Hey, man, you don't know me. My name is Fonty. I'm actually a social media influencer.
So Fonty is going to be playing the role of a famous, rich Instagrammer who wants to make a difference in the world and give money away.
I do a lot of brand deals with a lot of different companies. Like last month, I did a brand deal with H&M, and I feel like I need to give back. I feel like I need to change someone's life.
So in order to make this thing really believable, we had to create Fonty a new Instagram account. So we went online, bought him a lot of fake followers, a lot of fake likes, and a lot of fake comments. And Jesus Christ, that is the price for 1 million followers. Shout out to Knox Cleaner for sponsoring this episode.
I'm the real deal, bro. Like, I'll send you a picture of my Instagram, my Snapchat, whatever you need to know, just to let you know, man. Like, I'm the real deal. I'm just really, really, really trying to impact your life.
Man. A little bit weird, but like, alright. How did you get my number though?
Very tricky question, but nonetheless, we're prepared for it. To sum this up, guys, Fonty basically told George that he posted on his Instagram story that if anyone knew anyone who needed some help, to drop their name and their number in his DMs. And thus, that's how he ended up getting George's number.
And someone dropped your number. I'm not naming who, but none of that matters at all. Just focus on the blessing, man. Like, I'm really trying to help you out.
And with that, George takes our bait and agrees to meet up with Fonty a couple days later, which happens to be today at this very location.
Where's my Ferrari? Where's my mansion, bro? Like,
You are the Ferrari. You are the man.
no, I'm not.
You are. You are
not.
We have chosen this bench to be where Fonty will meet George, so we set up our cameras around it. We had one nearby and then one from far away as usual to capture every angle. Our 24-hour timer ticks on, so it's now time to give George a call.
All right, guys, everything is pretty much set up. We know where our cameras are going. We're just giving George a call right now to make sure that he's almost.
Sound like a crackhead.
Hey, man, it's Fonty. I'm already here. Where you at?
A major reason why we chose this park, guys, was because George mentioned to Fonty that he didn't have a car, so he would have to walk to their meeting. He's almost on his way now, and this park is only about 10 minutes from his house, which means we have to play it safe, make our way to the car to hide, grab the headphones, and begin to listen into everything that's gonna go down.
So much history is with them
We've
headphones.
successfully linked up to a phone call with Fonty, and about 15 minutes later, our cameraman spots George walking in. Phase 1 of this 3-step test is about to begin.
George?
How much time? 7 minutes already? God.
It's about
Damn.
10 minutes, bro. It's like down the road.
Now that Fonty has made contact with George, it's now safe for Tommy to step out of the car to listen in with
If
us.
there's a bench over there, I feel like that'd be a lot more comfortable than standing, you know?
And now we have George exactly where we want him in line with our cameras. So it's now time to let you guys know the purpose of this phase. It's simple. We have drawn George in to try to help him exactly how Tommy has tried to help him. So we want to find out if the story that George told Tommy is the same exact story that he will tell Fonty.
Of course
I want to
not.
get serious here. I want to know who George is. Like, why would your friend, you know, put your number in my DMs?
What friend was it again?
Just don't even worry about that. Like,
Remember, guys, we're doing this to see if the stories line up. So apparently there was another coworker who also helped him. So we're curious to see if George told that coworker the same story that he told Tommy. So that's what we're gonna find out with the story that George tells Fonty.
Okay, it's kind of a long story, but I'll try to keep it.
Alright, no man for talk with his hand like that on the table.
worry about that, man. Like, we got all the time. We got all the time here.
Bate bye.
I'm sorry, Fonty, you got that all wrong. You might have all the time in the world, but our viewers don't. So for the purpose of keeping this short and blessing your lives, let's just highlight the key features of this conversation.
Now, I've been in the foster system like since I was born. Sorry. 2 years ago, my
Bro, he's clickbaiting, bro.
and we had to go through a lot of different treatments and stuff like that. He didn't make it.
He's clickbaiting.
Her heart could fail.
Oh!
it's been very hard for me to really. I'm not. It's been really hard for me to really do this like on my own. I've been like really like I was almost homeless again. I've been trying to finesse, but like jobs haven't always been coming in the right way and stuff like that. And
I am honestly so sorry, like, that you had to go through that.
Okay, let's do a quick recap of George's unfortunate story. According to him, he said that he was a foster child who was adopted, but unfortunately his father passed away 2 years ago from cancer, and his foster mother now suffers from heart failure. On top of that, he also said what we already know, that he was homeless and that he really, really is struggling. The question is, do these stories match up?
Yeah, I mean, minus the part where his dad died, I didn't know, but...
So he didn't tell you that?
Nah.
Maybe just because he's a little... I don't know, it's hard.
Incredibly, the two unfortunate stories do match up. We've needed to learn what we needed to learn, so phase 1 is now officially complete. So it's now time for Fonty to lay the foundation for phase number 2, because this test is far from over.
Yeah.
So what I want to do...
This is
Damn, Fonty's voice, man. Wait, Fonty's really in his feels right now?
Right now, I don't currently have $5,000 on me right now. I don't currently have it. I'm ready to change your life. I'm ready to help you out. I'm ready to get you.
Let me ask you this: are you mad that the stories lined up, or are you kind of like how do you feel the fact that these both stories line up?
I definitely
Come on, Naruto.
So the first step for us to
Naruto
was
chucking.
Fonty offering George $5,000 to change his life, which he's really not going to give him, but we have to make George believe that he is. So that's why now Fonty will hand George real money.
I got about $340. Wow. I want you to have that.
Guys, that money is real.
I want you to go get you something nice to eat. I want you to go buy yourself a new shirt, some clothes, whatever you want.
Now that Fonty has given George a little taste of his supposed wealth, our hopes are that George 100% believes that Fonty will give him the $5,000 later when he pulls him out of the bank.
I think Fonty believes it. I don't know. I'm curious to see what Fonty thinks. I think he believes it. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know.
So first things first, bro, I'm about to call you an Uber.
Our second step for us to move on to phase 2 is for Fonty to call George an Uber.
I am the Uber driver, guys. Woo! Oh my God! Oh God! Okay.
Remember, Fonty still supposedly needs to go to the bank to pull out the $5,000, so in the meantime, he's sending George off to do some shopping. As I said, I am playing the fake Uber driver, and I have a compartment in my Ferrari perfect enough to hide a camera and record my ride with George. Fonty now begins to walk him to where I'm going to pick him up, but I wait a good 10 minutes before actually getting there in order to make this whole thing more believable.
Yeah, what's up, man?
How are you?
Sergio?
Yes.
All right, awesome. I'm not actually going to be getting in the car with you. He is.
Now the next step is for Fonty to ask me to cancel the Uber and pay me $200 to become George's personal driver for the next couple of hours, so he can spoil himself with the $300 that he gave him.
So you want me to cancel this ride?
Cancel the ride completely. Just be his driver for the day. Exactly. There you go, buddy.
I'll cancel the ride right now. Hop in.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey,
Fonty says goodbye to George for now to supposedly go and take out the $5,000, and then George hops into the car to begin his shopping. And yes, I am actually going to drive him wherever he wants to go, but this is all a part of the plan. I have shared my location on my phone with my team, so they are able to follow behind me to wherever I'm going to be taking George.
Where did he want me to take you exactly? Where did you want to go? You want to go to Chipotle? Okay.
And it will be at one of these locations where I end up taking him where phase 2 will take place, which I'll explain when we get there. So on our way to Chipotle, it is.
I forgot I was recording.
Longer than 10 minutes, and we have arrived at our first destination.
You're gonna dine in or take out?
I think I'm a diner.
You want to dine in? I'm just gonna be parked right here, then waiting for you. Okay? Huh? No, I'm good. No, just you. Yes. Thank you. All right, take your time and everything.
Minutes later, my team arrives, and because George has already stepped foot into the restaurant, we are free to communicate through our walkie-talkies.
Sergio.
Yo, y'all got walkie-talkies? I'm weak.
Time ticks on, and George
What
continues
is
eating.
this?
We're taking a really long dump. We don't really know exactly.
Hey, Sergio.
You're very awesome. You're awesome too, dude. You're awesome too.
Hey, I want to know Fonty's
Something
thoughts
about
on
him we don't know
What do you
about.
think about his story? Honestly, don't think he's lying. It doesn't seem like he is, and if he is,
He's a really good ass liar, manipulator, con man.
this guy is definitely the devil if he is telling lies.
That's crazy, man. Run me my one.
About 20 minutes have now passed, and finally, George steps out of the restaurant.
He's coming out, guys. He's coming out. I gotta go.
Took him goddamn long enough. Shit, hell. I ain't got the time. I really
Who
don't.
is this?
We got things to do.
Smells good, man. How was it?
With George in the backseat of my car, the cat and mouse game begins once again. This time, George said he wanted to go to a store to get a shirt, so I recommended we go to a mall. But it was about halfway before getting there that I decided to make some small talk with George and learned this. Just watch and listen to this.
So tell me about yourself, man. Your name is
George.
George?
Yeah.
Cool. What do you do, George?
I'm a construction worker.
You work for construction.
It's like they do things in LA, they do things in like
Really?
Burbank, stuff like that. You know, a lot of scaffolding stuff. Like he handles a lot of that stuff.
Really?
Did you guys catch that? I know it's very hard to hear, but he just said he works for construction
For his
at his dad's
dad.
company. Didn't this guy just say his dad unfortunately passed away? And he said he was also struggling, but the thing is, construction workers make bank. I honestly was just making small talk. This isn't even phase 2. So I can't believe what I'm hearing, so I check my camera to check if it's recording. And thank God, it is.
Man, that's...
Can you reiterate that? You're a supervisor?
I supervise while I'm there. So
For your dad's construction company.
This guy is a supervisor at his dad's construction company. He doesn't need any help at all. Construction workers make like $20 an hour, but he's a supervisor, so he makes more. And his dad owns the company, so he must make even more. To me, this
Then why are
test
you
is
doing
done.
that?
This test is over. But the thing that sucks is that Tommy didn't hear this. And yes, I could just show him the recording, but number 1, I wasn't sure if it even captured good audio, and number 2, I wanted him to hear it with his own ears. So I continued to drive George to the mall.
Bruh, I'm too big to be crouching like this.
I'll drop you off right here. I'm gonna go park the car. I'm gonna go inside for a little bit chill and everything. Probably get some Starbucks. Text me, okay? Let me get your number down first, though.
So I told George that I'm gonna go into the mall and look around as well because I want to buy us as much time as possible. In my head, I already think this test is over. I think George is a liar, and this is where I want Tommy to hear the truth.
Man.
And so I drop him off. This guy is so lazy enough to open the door that he instead pushes his button to get it open. And I park. My team finds me, parks right next to me. We set up the cameras, and I begin to tell them exactly what I heard.
On the car ride over here, after Chipotle, I asked him, yo, what do you do? And he says he does construction. And he says his dad owns the construction company.
I'm fucking pissed. You serious?
Unless he was lying to me?
I'm getting paid.
That's what he said. That's what he literally said. And it was so natural. It was
What
like,
kind of twisted
it's in
fucking
here.
lies about
It's in here.
being a
But, so
foster
here's the
child?
thing. I know.
Shut the fuck up.
So Fonzie's mad. I'm saying he feels betrayed because he actually believes the story. And Tommy's kind of just soaking everything in and being like, yep, I knew this was coming.
Maybe he said that because he was embarrassed about being homeless.
What?
There's that. There's
It's
always
just like-
that choice.
Y'all are giving the
Chance
benefit
that
of
it
the
could happen.
doubt.
It's just like he had no reason to lie to me and no reason to friend him.
That's the
He has a
thing.
reason to lie to you, yeah, because you're giving him money. He has a reason to lie to him because he's giving him money, but he has no reason to lie to me.
If it's not too late, you get security. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Get security.
What do you guys think? Denzi, what do you think?
About what?
You think you... What are we talking
Oh, homeboy.
about, homeboy? He's like about...
Okay, let's get this test going again before we completely lose Denzel.
Something
Time ticks
about
on.
him
Jake goes
going
into phase
on.
2, and now it's time to let you guys learn what's going to happen here. So in phase 1, we wanted to see if George's story of needing help lines up with the one that he told Tommy. And for the most part, it did. So now in phase 2, we want to see how real that story actually is. Jay's going to play our decoy this phase, and his job is to get George to take a quick survey for a fake game show kind of like Family Feud. So we begin to move my car into position. I then take out my tire jack because if Jay does not get George to take this survey before he reaches my car, I'm going to be like, well, I mean, you might as well take the survey because I still got to change my tire, man. It's kind of like our safety net, I guess you can say. Anyways, the mall is now closing, so I now give George a call to let him know where I am and to see when he's going to be coming.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, I'm going to try to change. Are you going to come right now, or are you going to take some time, or when would you be coming?
I'm gonna come with you right now.
You're going to come right now? Okay, sounds good.
With George now being on his way, we now all get into position and we wait.
Guys, we are losing daylight very, very, very quickly. It looks like this confrontation or phase 3, if there is a confrontation or phase 3, might be happening in the nighttime because daylight is disappearing.
Finally, George makes his way out of the mall's main entrance and Jay
Damn,
persists.
what's this
Unfortunately, those
iPhone
cars got in the way and our
5C?
cameras had to readjust. But that's okay because I'm not going to show you guys this whole phase like how I initially intended to, and that's because given the conversation George and I had in the car, we already know that there's a huge possibility that George might not be telling the truth at all.
It looks like he's gonna do it, guys. I'm no longer needed. I'm gonna put the stuff away, and yes, because remember, I was a safety net, but not needed.
That being said, let's bless your lives. Remember, Jay's doing a survey on George for a show like Family Feud, so he's asking them silly questions like, name the first color that comes to your mind, or name something you haven't done since high school. But at the very end of all those questions, Jay needs to collect some personal information on George, including his name, age, and occupation. And this is where I'm gonna stop it and listen to his answer.
Are you currently in a relationship? What is your occupation?
I'm a construction worker.
Bam! Admitted it again. And this time both Tommy and Fonty were listening, so they heard it.
No fucking way, dude.
I fucking told you.
No.
I told you,
I
man.
told you there's more.
Yeah, man.
Because there is.
You fucking liar, man.
It's about like, I say it's like 40,000 plus,
You hear what he just said?
somewhere around there.
40,000 plus.
Yeah, 40,000 plus like benefits and like bonuses. and
Because
stuff
you
like
work for the construction.
that. Yeah, I do work for construction. Yeah.
That's it. Caught him. Are you kidding me? Making over $40,000 a year and asking people for money? I used to work at Subway, made only $12,000 a year and still survived.
So now we know 110%. Everything that he told Sergio in the Uber was 110%.
Man, that's crazy,
Like,
man.
I think we're done.
Someone hit this nigga with a fucking blue pump, my guy.
Yo. What's up? What's up?
Bro, when my son done with him, he gonna need a fucking chug.
I know.
Do you realize that there are kids out there right now that don't have parents and you have the audacity to fucking lie about it? Honestly, this guy literally needs
Nah, that's messed up. My son was blessing him with $300, $500. Like, you know how much that is if you have an apartment and you working? Like, that's crazy, man. That nigga need a heavy, golden head tap. Something to get knocked and sent to the lobby.
Go. And he was then selecting locations. I started choosing locations because I wanted to give Tommy some time to cool off. Fonty had texted me that they were super pissed, so I figured it was only the right thing to do. And so I tell my team to no longer follow me and just head back to the park because that's where phase 3 was going to happen. So a little more than an hour ticked by, and now I texted Fonty the okay to call George to ask him to tell me to come back to the park.
That's it. The phone call. All right, this is the end of part 1. If you guys enjoyed this video, come back for part 2. There's 12 more minutes left. Hey, it's the last juicy part. But yeah, guys, I don't know what to say, man. I just want to get to the part 2. So if you guys want to see part 2 is just as much as I want to see it, make sure you drop a like and comment.
Beat on that pussy like Donkey Kong. I stole your bitch like I'm Donkey Kong. Beat on that pussy like Donkey Kong. I stole your bitch like I'm Donkey Kong. Beat it up, beat it up.